Here is some dog bane cordage that has been processed from the stalk of the dog bane plant, and we have just extracted some of the woody section away from the stalk, and now we have these cordage material or fiber material that we're going to actually roll into cordage. And what we want to do first, I'm going to actually work with just this one stalk here. There's different methods of splicing in more cordage in there, more fiber in there to make a longer cordage. And let's work with this one stalk that has been extracted. What you have here is some cordage or fibers that is thick on one side and thin on one side, because if you look at the stalk here, there's more material here as the plant tapers to a thinner piece. So in order to have some consistency in the diameter of your cordage, what you need to do is split this in half, and this is the thicker side and that's the thinner side right here, and you're going to split this in half and then reverse it so that part of the thick side is laying against the thin side. Now we have more of a consistent amount of cordage on both ends of the fibers. Now, to make cordage using the leg rolling method, I'm going to wet the fibers first so it binds together. If you did a really good job of scraping, this thing would almost be as fine and fluffy as silk fibers. But I didn't do a very good process of scraping for this demonstration, as I hope I would have done to get some good fibers. If you did a lot of good scraping, it looks almost like this, like fine hair. So this is the leg rolling method. Now, if you take in a towel, a wet towel before, and wring it, you notice that when you wring out a towel, one hand is moving in that direction, another hand is moving in the opposite direction to wring the towel. So basically, to start, you will actually be twisting it in one direction and twisting it in the other direction to get it started. So I'm going to do that. And when I bring this together, it starts to kink in the middle and twist onto itself, as you can see, like this. So this is the beginning of your cordage. Now let's try the leg rolling method. Leg rolling method is an efficient way of actually producing a lot of cordage in a short amount of time. And what you want to do, ideally you want to do it against a bare leg, because with the pants, when you start rubbing it against your pants, you notice it starts to crease and it kind of binds on your pants there. So I'm going to try and get that as tight as possible so that when I start rolling this against my thigh, it doesn't create all these little creases in there. And you want that thing to roll smoothly. Put a little bit of water on my pants here so that it grips my hand and the fibers. Now what you want to do is place this on your thigh. First you want to get some of the fibers rolling ahead of time. So I'm going to take half of the fibers and just roll it once. Get it rolling. Once you do that, then you put it on your thigh as far up as possible, and you split the two halves of the cordage, and you take your fingers, starting with the tip of your fingers, you want to roll the fibers across your thigh, but when it gets to the end, these two split fibers here should still be apart. They shouldn't be together like this. It becomes much more difficult to get that nice plied cordage if they're together at the end, and I'll demonstrate what I'm talking about. So I'm going to get that going again by rolling it. Now, when you start rolling it, I usually take my finger and kind of pinch it apart. When you start rolling it, you want contact between your fingers, this cordage, and your thighs. So you want to press down between the cordage. So when I start rolling it, I don't want a gap between my fingers and the cordage, because then it won't roll anymore. So I want to start pressing down completely, making a contact between my fingers, that cordage, and my thigh. So no gap between the two. Watch what happens when I start rolling it. Everything starts rolling. I keep it separated At the end, I release it, it twists onto itself like that, and with your other finger, just roll across like that, and then you got some cordage there. Pinch it here, take it back again, roll it, let it go, it twists onto itself, you roll it with the other hand this way. You've got some cordage, really tight cordage if you keep your hands and the cordage connected to your thigh in one complete roll. I'm going to roll it again, keeping it separated. See how these two cordage never come together until I release it, and then I roll it. So I'll continue on, and you'll see how fast you can actually get cordage this way, just a short amount of time. Look how much cordage I've done and how tightly wound that thing is. Usually I'll twist it a little bit more, pull it to create a set in that twist, and then if I needed to add some more cordage to this to make it longer, to splice more cordage, what I do is I add some more cordage by putting another strip of fibers here and twist it together. Add another strip of fibers here and twist it together. When you splice, never splice at the same end, same areas where it ends. You want to stagger it a little bit so that you have a little bit more strength in your cordage. So if this thing was running out of string and it was shorter, I would add cordage here, and then as I progress down and it starts to run out further down, I add cordage here. So by adding some more fibers here, I can twist it together and then add some more fibers here later on, twist it together, and then roll it. So that's how they made long cordage. And if you keep doing this, you know, eventually you get a pretty good bunch of cordage. And if you're very good at keeping the consistency of the diameter, it will be ideal, and you get some really nice cordage. You can see that it varies in color because some of it is tan in color, some of it is that dark mahogany color, and very, very strong material. You know, even this small diameter is very, very tough material. I mean, you can't hang onto this without breaking it, but it is a very, very tough material. And let me show you what can be made out of this dogbane cordage. If you learn netting techniques, you can make carrying nets like this. This is all dogbane cordage with a strap, and basically it's a carrying net. The netting has been created, and then it's been laced together. The ends have been folded and then laced on the top so that it creates a little bag, and just by unlacing the front part you can put things in there, and I can stick my hand in there. You can use it as a carrying bag. It's lightweight enough so that you can carry it in your pocket or put it over your shoulder, and when you need to put things in, you know, here you've got a very efficient carrying bag. So carrying nets were used by the natives in California, and they made carrying nets out of dogbane, out of milkweed, down south, out of yucca fibers, and other materials. Let me show you what else can be made with dogbane. Bags, containers for carrying your things, your stuff. This is a combination of different fibers. The darker brown is basically dogbane. That's milkweed that has been interwoven into there. Milkweed, and the top is stinging nettle fibers. Stinging nettle fibers are good, but not as strong as dogbane, and it tends to rot when it's placed in water for a good amount of time. So we've got three different fibers here. One is dogbane fibers. You can see there's a little bit of variation in the color in the dogbane between here and here. We have milkweed fibers. This is more of a whitish color, good material. And then the last is stinging nettle fibers. A little bit of a light greenish color. You can see a difference in the color. So in terms of ideal cordage and strength, dogbane is first, milkweed is second, and then the third one would probably be stinging nettle. But here you can see a bag that's been made out of all three fiber materials, a carrying bag. That's it. You know, find some dog bane material, find any type of cordage material, and start twisting some cordage, and you'll find that you can make a lot of cordage out of different things other than just dog bane, milkweed, and stinging nettle. As long as the plant has a little bit of fibers in it and pliability. I've made cordage out of cattail leaves. You know, just by drying out the leaves, rehydrating it, stripping it into long strips, and then twisting it into cordage. So go out there and make some cordage.